Brilliant. Hello. Wow, thank you. Wow. Probably don't need the amplifier up here. All so close to each other. Is there any sound on the guitar, Tom? Oh, brilliant. Thank you. 2. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Boys and girls, welcome. Gosh, he's tall, isn't he? Mind your head on my pull-ups. Thank you. There's a few new faces here tonight, and the theme of tonight is actually birthday. We have 3 different people who are celebrating their birthday today, or within the week or so. So happy birthday to you all, and welcome again to the Drawing Room. We've got 2 extraordinary artists here tonight. There's actually something, do you know a guy called PJ? Peter Jukla. Oh, I beg your pardon, he knows you. Okay. Anyhow, he's in France this evening, and he wanted to say hi. I think you do know him. The Tour de Force Theatre Company. No matter. Okay. Have I got the right act? I do hope so. I know I have. Joe sent me some material a little while ago, and it was extraordinary material. And he's got a new album. You have a new album out. So Christmas is coming. Please remember that. You've got lots of friends. Facebook has told us so. And so you can buy lots of stocking fillers. And but before we do that, we're going to make a big, warm welcome to Joe Wilkes. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Richard, for allowing me to play here. This such a lovely, lovely space. I'm going to start off with a song called "Looking for the Grave of Garcia Lorca," who was eminent, very famous Spanish playwright and poet. And I wrote this song because I read a sort of article about how they'd found, or possibly found, his grave. You know that no one knows where he's buried. Do you know that? And it just got me thinking about how you can't, if you want to make an enemy of someone, don't turn them into a martyr. It's the worst thing you can do. People write songs about them, and and their sort of legacy will not be. Just don't kill people is the sort of moral of the story. So it goes like this. Once heard a story, a man lying in a ditch, an unmarked tomb in the woods, guarded by a witch. Well, you can burn and bear the truth with mud, but it'll come out with the rain. The grave of Garcia Lorca, and all those who feel the same. Once heard a story, a man lying in a ditch, an unmarked tomb in the woods, guided by a witch. Well, you can burn and bear the truth with mud, but it'll come out with the rain. The grave of Garcia Lorca, and all those who feel the same. Rising to the surface, we see facts laid bare. Oh yes, I remember the gypsy ballads, some paper won't tear. Well, you can burn and bear the truth with mud, but it'll come out with the rain. The grave of Garcia Lorca, and all those who feel the same. looking for the grave of Garcia Lorca. The rain will find you there, and when the earth comes off your bones and shows the mark you bear, how many people will come out to judge a done deal from the past? Oh, let's raise the curtain, oh, free at last. Oh, they looked for you in the cafes, cemeteries and churches, but they never found you. No, no, they never found you. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. I'll sing a song called 1,000 Steps. So Lorca. So there you go. I get to do gigs in Spain now because I wrote that song. And also people think that I'm smart and probably went to uni, literate, which I'm not. But my mum did buy me a book of poems by Garcia Lorca because she'd heard that I'd written that song. And I've never read it, actually, but I am told that he's very good and very profound. I got interested in him because I was interested in the Spanish Civil War. It's a word, it's a song, it speaks of shade. It could be wrong, it's a smile, a wink of the eye, a chink of sunshine, and you know it's right. I was lost and now I'm found, and heaven spoke beyond the clouds, and something told me I was bound. Gonna hitch a ride on the wind, and see where I blow. It's taken me 1,000 steps to get to here. I've broken my legs and my back to get to here. Ah, the horizon, sun. It's the day, the breathless morn, the sunshine tells us of something warm. It's a new vista, it's a brand new view. Man or God, and it's all for you. Running down old Mirror Lane, the cobblestones still look the same, and I'll always think of it that way. Gonna follow each and every twist, like a scribble on the floor. It's taken me 1,000 steps to get to here. I've broken my legs and my back to get to here. Ah, the horizon, sun. Lost and now found, and heaven spoke beyond the clouds, and something told me I was bound. Gonna hitch a ride on the wind and see where I blow. It's taken me 1,000 steps to get to here. I've broken my legs and my back to get to here. By the horizon, by the rising sun. Cheers. Thank you very much. Thank you. just as I was playing that, I was just thinking about the next song they're playing. I was thinking I might play a traditional folk song. Does anyone like traditional folk music? So often if you like travelling around or something, I think of this song because it's a song about travellers and sort of welcoming strangers. And even though I've only came from London, I feel like because I've came to the nether regions of the Metropolitan line, I feel like I am almost on tour. And Richard's been ever so welcoming, and this song's about sort of welcoming strangers. And can't remember what key I played in now, but I'll just try it like this, or maybe it is like that actually. Oh, actually, I've got it written down. Anyway, it's called the Lakes of Pontchartrain. Has anyone heard of it? Yeah. Yeah. By way of Paul Brady or Christy Moore. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Good. I'll give you a reminder now of how it goes. So yeah, I just really like this song, and I mean I heard the Paul Brady version. I can't sing it like him, but it does the rounds. It's mainly Irish people do it. It's just about someone looking for work in New Orleans, where there is a lake called Lake Pontchartrain. And like all Irish people, he falls in love with a native woman, and that's kind of what the song's about. It was on one bright March morning I bid New Orleans adieu, and I took the road to Jackson Town, my fortune to renew. And I cursed all foreign money till a dark girl towards me came, and I fell in love with a Creole girl by the banks of Pontchartrain. And I stepped on board of a railroad car beneath the morning sun, and I rode the rods to evening time and laid me down again. All strangers, they're no friends to me, till a dark girl towards me came, and I fell in love with a Creole girl by the banks of Pontchartrain. And I said, my pretty Creole girl, my money here's no good, and if it weren't for the alligators, I'd sleep out in the woods. You're welcome here, kind stranger. Our house, it is very plain, but we never turn a stranger out by the banks of Pontchartrain. She took me into her mammy's house and treated me right well. Oh, the hair upon her shoulders in jet black ringlets fell. To try and paint her beauty, I'm sure it would be in vain. So handsome was my Creole girl by the banks of Pontchartrain. her if she would marry me. She said this could never be. Oh, for she had got a lover, and he was far at sea. She said that she would wait for him, and true she would remain till he'd return to his Creole girl by the banks of Pontchartrain. So fare thee well, my bonny young girl, I may never see you no more. Oh, but I'll never forget your kindness in a cottage by the shore. And at each social gathering, a flowing glass I'll drain, and I'll drink a health to my Creole girl by the banks of Pontchartrain. Thanks a lot. Does it sound familiar? It does. Okay, good. It's the same song. Okay. It's an interesting song, the sort of history of it, because there's another song called "Lily of the West," which you might know, which is an Americana song, and it's the same melody and the same sort of chords. But this song is "The Lakes of Pontchartrain." It was written presumably by an Irish immigrant in America in the middle of the 19th century. But really, it's more of like an Americana song. It's more of like it's a little bit. You can hear it sounds a bit like a country song, like what we think of as American music more than a kind of folky Irish thing. So this is really the kernel of that kind of music. Is like the middle of the 19th century, and songs like this one and "Lily of the West," which is very similar. So this, and also it became popular after the Hurricane Katrina. This song, people started playing it again because it's a nice song. So what should I do now? I know what I'll do. So now I'll play one of my own kind of love songs, which is very because Irish people, when they get drunk, they talk a lot, don't they? Which is why the Lakes of Pontchartrain's got so many verses. But as an Englishman, my song's a bit more concise. It's called "The High Life." Once was a young boy, oh so smooth, who sat upon the performer's stool, and in the middle of the stage I sang a song. And nobody knew the words. Something in the bar that night, a sign outside was flashing bright. She was listening to the words and feeling the time. Her eyes and ears were quick and cool. To cut a long story short, I'll just say that my heart was caught, and for 8 vast weeks we traveled in a haze. I'd play first, then we'd turn it around. They didn't take much notice of me, they'd talk through everything drunkenly. When she came out, they'd listen well. When you heard her sing, but when you heard her sing, I could sympathize. Yonder hill and yonder stream have told me what the bird song means. High life comes fleeting fast, but quickly it blows away. On we went to one autumn night, we seemed to get something right. Appeared a man with a car and money to burn. Said he'd put some on us. Said he'd put good money on us. From there on in, the work came good. The living was fast and got in my blood. Everyone said she had a voice from heaven. Just as they said I wasn't too bad. We drank too much and it's just a thought, but to cut a long story short, it was always for her that they really cared. Most were happy, most of them were happy when I was gone. I see her now and then on a TV screen, one part memory, one part dream. And once in a while she drops me a line, sends me a letter or a note to my old address. Yonder hill and yonder stream have told me what the bird song means. The high life comes fleeting fast, but quickly blows away. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have to make some decisions now, but what the songs to play. I borrowed a plectrum off. Oh, amazing, brilliant, thanks. Okay, so I'll just do this one. It's called When We Leave From Here. Do you like traditional songs? You like what Wilkes constraint? Okay, well, I'll do another one. So this song's called When We Leave From Here, and it utilises a plectrum, and it's a bit of a sort of rock, more of a rock thing. Actually, I'm not going to play. I'll play a different one. I'll play a different one. I'll play this one because in this sort of a thing, you don't want some guy with a plectrum making a load of noise. I'll do this one because it's another sort of folkish sort of one. So it's called Down in the Alley, and I haven't played this for ages. And I went to Palestine and did some teaching there 3 years ago. And if you've been to an Arab country, Islamic country, you hear this call to prayer all the time. Well, not all the time, but every 4 hours. And so I just had my guitar with me, and I tuned my guitar to this tuning and tried to make some sort of Arabic sort of things with it, like these kind of dissonant things that kind of made me think about that sort of sounded a little bit like this sort of call to prayer thing. And yeah, so this sort of kind of song came out of it. It's called, and this is on my latest album, which is called Japanese Elvis. And this song is called Down in the Alley. Soldier with the focus of his rifle on the street, but I'm down in a suit doing my meet and greet. There's a soldier I've got and he's kicking down the door. I got no escape routes there, bringing their wall. Down in the alley where the kids are playing dice, there's There's a God watching over with fire in his eye. I'm just trying to get home to my holy books, but the occupying force is giving me those dirty looks. I'm going down, down, down. I'm going round, round, round. No turning back. Where's your ID? Says a soldier at the checkpoint. Don't I know your face? We got your brother last week. It's a tough one to crack, but he'll tell us in the end. They all do when we threaten their mothers. Your grandfather's farm was over yonder hill, but now it's been stolen. It's a landmark suicide bomb making kid with a charm bracelet talisman is waiting to explode. Down in the alley where the kids are playing dice, there's a God watching over with fire in his eyes. I'm just trying to get home to my holy books, but the occupying force is giving me those dirty looks. I'm going down, down, down. I'm going round, round, round. No turning back. Cheers, thank you. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much. I didn't really play that as well as I normally do. What I'll do is I have a tune-up and I'll play some sort of more normal songs. Feel free to cough. I had a coughing fit on stage. I did a gig last Saturday and I had a coughing fit on stage. I had a cold, and just at the end of the cold, and you know, it didn't matter. I mean, no one cared. I mean, I don't mind people coughing. I'm sure you don't mind if I cough. And I said, I feel a bit like Theresa May having like a coughing fit on stage. And then I said, now I feel like I've got something in common with Theresa May. I still wish she'd choked herself to death at the Tory Party conference last year. And there was this sort of bit of a silence in the room, and I thought, wrong gig, the wrong place. Well, they booked the wrong guy, I suppose. Yeah. But it is a shame that. Yeah, well, yeah. So anyway, feel free to cough. So I don't know what to play, but by the time I've tuned up, I'll have decided. I know what I'll do. I'll play the song I was playing when I coughed last week, so I just remembered what it was. And it's another traditional song, and it's, but this is an American song, like a bona fide American song with no trace of any Anglo or Celtic anything. And it was written by Mississippi John Hurt, who is a blues guy, a very famous blues guy. And a wonderful, amazing guitarist, one of my favourite guitarists. A very gentle soul, very gentle guitar player. If you like blues and folk music, he's worth having listened to. And so this song, I'm obviously just going to play it the way I play it. It's not the way he plays it. It's not as good as the way he plays it. But I like it because it's. That's not right. I like it because lots of blues songs are about sort of like killing women, like killing your wife. There's a song called Cold Letter Blues by, there's loads of them, but this one's great because it's about it's about a woman killing her husband. So, and I just like it because it's just makes a change, I think. So and also the song is about like if you're thinking of cheating on your girlfriend, then this is what this song's about. It's about how don't do that. Because this song's about Frankie who kills her partner Albert. And like a lot of folk songs, like the Lily of the West and the Lakes of Pontchartrain, it belongs to like a family of songs. So you might have heard of a song called Frankie and Johnny, which is like a relation of this song. It's a slightly different story, different melody and stuff, but it's kind of they all link back to like just one song, presumably. So this one's called Frankie anyway, and I love it. It goes like this. Frankie was a good girl, everybody knows. She paid $100 for Albert's suit of clothes. Frankie went down to the corner saloon and ordered a glass of beer. Then she asked the barkeeper, "Has my loving Albert been here?" Roll me over, mother, roll me over slow. Might be the last time, but you won't turn me no more, no, no. She's my one. I'm doing her wrong. Ain't gonna tell you no story, Frankie, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Albert passed about an hour ago with a girl called Alice Fry. Frankie caught up with Albert, shot him 3 or 4 times. Move out of the way, let me see old Albert die. And he said, turn me over, mother, turn me over slow. Might be the last time, but you won't turn me no more, no, no. She's my woman, but I'm doing her wrong. Frankie and the judge walked out of court side by side. The judge said to Frankie, "You're gonna be justified." Dark was the night, cold was on the ground. That's what Frankie said when she laid old Albert down. And he said, turn me over, mother, turn me over slow. It might be the last time, but you won't turn me no more, no, no. She's my woman, but I'm doing her wrong. Cheers, thank you very much, thank you. Great, that's for all the women that are going to kill their husbands one day. No one here, no one in this room. Okay, and we'll play a song called Garden of the Night, which is an old song. Well, I'm following a stranger, in him I do trust. May God give us mercy, as I know he must. We're gonna fall, oh, fall down off the wall. We're counting on someone to break our fall. Well, we're falling from heaven, and we're falling from grace. We're counting on someone to come and take our place. We're gonna fall, oh, fall, slip off the wall. We're counting on someone to cushion the fall. Stay too long, nor will I leave too soon. Should I sing a wrong note or play a wrong tune? Well, the melody, it's a whistling and sings in the night. Across the frontier with a preaching a line, we drew up the drawbridge and painted a picture. Now honest hypocrisy is making it clear. We're gonna fall, oh, fall, slip off the wall. When the Christian fanatics are kicking the ball, we're gonna fall, oh, fall down off the wall. We're counting on someone to break our fall. Well, I'm with the Blessed Virgin, and I'm following the leader. Now we are the sleepers in the garden of the night. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks. So I got loads more songs, but Richard will tell me when it's my last song. Well, came to the end already. One more? Okay, brilliant. Okay, good. So time flies, isn't it? We're having fun. That's it. If you play the next Punch Train, it takes up half your set, because of reasons that I already sort of went into. So I'll finish off with a song called Too Late to Pray, which I've been playing for, I wrote it years ago, but ever since Donald Trump got elected, I've started playing it loads. And I just tell people I wrote it about Donald Trump, which isn't true. I wrote it about 9/11. But if you're vague enough in your sort of writing, you can just sort of twist these things. If you just mention America in a song lyric in a way that isn't positive, you can say, oh, it's about Donald Trump. Thank you very much for having me. I have got CDs. I'm going to stick around and watch our other act, who's amazing, who I saw soundcheck. It's really brilliant. So it's going to be an amazing night. And thank you very much for listening to me. And thank you, Richard. This is called Too Late to Pray. Some are scared of the night, some are scared of the day. We were scared of Christ when the devil came our way. But it's too soon to breathe and too soon to say it's a paranoid situation. in the USA. I was born in the peacetime, you were born in the war. I was thinking in the meantime, it goes way, way back to before. But it's too soon to breathe, and too soon to say. It's a paranoid situation in America, day by day by day. I used to hide behind a hammer and sickle. Now I'm gonna smash something with a end of my knuckle. But it's too soon to breathe and too soon to say. It's a paranoid situation coming our way. They're rounding up the rebels and tapping the phone lines. There are spies in the White House. It's a totally covert crime. But it's too soon to breathe and too soon to say. It's a paranoid situation in the USA. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers.
Boys and girls, Joe Wilkes. Now your CDs are where? Downstairs? Okay. Well, now we're going to have a short break, maybe 15, 20 minutes, if you'd like to go and stretch your legs. It is raining. There are umbrellas if you want to walk around the yard, have some fresh air. There is a newly built gazebo outside with a heater in if you want to go in there. We've got cake, we've got coffee, hot chocolate. If you'd like to have anything else, please let us know, and we will get it to you in the next sort of 10, 15 minutes or so. In the meanwhile, we'll have some background music, and if you've enjoyed, I know you've enjoyed Joe's music. Not only can you buy the CD, but you can actually watch this online when you go home tonight. It's all on YouTube, and if we've got the sound right, it's going to be good. So one more noise, please, for Mr. Joe Wilkes. Thank you. everybody back. Welcome back. You'll probably get bored with this story, but this is one of the most gentle and kind people I've met. It saved me at the middle of a gig halfway through a gig, because he actually showed up because he didn't even know he was meant to be here. He drove an hour and a half to be here in a hurry in order that he could headline. The last time he came here, I had Paul Carrick sitting over here, who not only went and bought his album. Did he got you to sign it as well? Did you? No. Yes. Oh yes. Let's see. Say yeah. However, his name is Dan Wilde, and as I know you will shortly find out, absolutely enchanting music. Would you please welcome him home, Dan Wilde? Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. How's everyone doing? Everyone all right? Yeah, good. I always love coming here. It's a lovely place. I set off for tonight's gig. It was very. I'd come from Cambridge, and it was raining very heavily when I left, and I went out to the car, put my guitar down by the car, and then my neighbour came out, and she said, "Oh, hello," and we had a little chat, and then I got back in my car and I drove off. And as I was driving down my street, I looked in my rearview mirror and I just saw my guitar lying in the road in the rain. So I went back, and I also forgot to bring a shirt. So anyway, I'm going to start with a song called "Didn't We Run." This is a song about not being afraid to say things, silly things, not being afraid to make a fool of yourself. You'll find out that I'm not afraid of that shortly. So this is called "Didn't We Run." Got a strong feeling there's something that you want to say. You're holding back words like you're scared that they'll run away. 'Cause all they ever did was fall face first into the wall, but that's okay. And I've got a little news that you might find hard to believe. I do worry about words that I use and how they're received. 'Cause all they ever did was fall face first into the wall, but that's okay. 'Cause didn't we run? And didn't we fall? Didn't we run? And didn't we fall? So go right ahead, lay it all out in front of me. I don't often give advice, but when I do, it is always for free. Just don't be surprised if it falls face first into the wall, that's okay. 'Cause didn't we run? And didn't we fall? Didn't we run? And didn't we fall? The scars we collect on our bodies remind us of battles we've lost and won. These old wounds will heal, but I don't want to forget all we've said and done. 'Cause didn't we run? And didn't we fall? Didn't we run? And didn't we fall? Or didn't we run? And didn't we fall? Didn't we run? And didn't we fall? Thank you. Cheers. Thank you very much. This next song is a song that I wrote for my niece. I have two nieces. I have an English niece and I have a Russian niece. And so my wife is Russian, and so it's my brother-in-law's daughter. And I met her on a holiday in Valencia about 2 and a bit years ago. About 2 years ago. And yeah, it was a magical time because it was a holiday, and I was meeting this little person for the first time. So this is a song that I wrote for her. It's called Safia. So it's about holidays and meeting little people. 2 weeks just came and went. The euros all were spent, and the souvenirs I bought got broken. And now my color's fading fast. It was never gonna last. Like some old painting I am flaking. But you, from the moment that we met, give me things I'll not forget. Something real I can hold on to. And now you're often on my mind. I catch myself sometimes just smiling. Safia, when you're old enough to understand these words I wrote for you, always know beside your home beneath the Ural Mountains you've won in England too. An yearly holiday might be the only way we'll get to reunite with you. But that's alright, 'cause you'll be talking soon. Call me up in the afternoon and I'll make you laugh with my poor Russian. Safia, when you're old enough to understand these words I wrote for you, always know beside your home beneath the Ural Mountains you've won in England too. Safia, when you're old enough to understand these words I wrote for you, always know beside your home beneath the Ural Mountains you've won in England too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm now going to play a song by one of my favourite songwriters. Her name is Courtney Marie Andrews. Does anyone know her music? No, you should check her out. She's very good. So this is one of her songs. It's about touring. It's about being on the road. And I guess the perception is that that is a very glamorous, kind of exciting thing to do. And it is, you know. But it's also can be quite lonely, especially when you're solo, like driving around and sitting in restaurants on your own and hotel rooms on your own and that kind of thing. So this is a song about that. It's called Table for One. Table for one, I've got no one I'm waiting on. I just pull pulled into town an hour ago from the streets of Houston to this diner in Ohio. I'm just waiting for the bar to open, 'cause I'm a little bit lonely, a little bit stoned, and I'm ready to go home. You don't wanna be like me. This life, it ain't free. Always chained to when I leave. Been dancing with strangers, sleep in the van when the show is over. I've been driving until I get tired. Found peace in the redwoods, lost it 20 miles later. There is no telling how much this road bends. Been wondering how you've been, and hoping that things have gotten better. Hope you finally settled down in Washington, 'cause I'm a little bit lonely, a little bit stoned, and I'm ready to go home. You don't wanna be like me. This life, it ain't free. Always chained to when I leave. Thank you. Thank you very much. So this next song is a song I wrote for my grandmother, and I kind of wrote this song because my grandfather was a real storyteller. He used to tell lots of stories about when he was younger, and he was in the Navy, and he traveled a lot and had a lot of adventures, and he never told me about the bad things that happened, but just about the good stuff, and it always sounded very exciting. My grandmother just kind of just listened and didn't really tell me stuff about her life, and I realized I didn't really know that much about her, so I wanted to find out more, but unfortunately she was starting to lose her memory, and she'd sort of start telling a story and then forget where she was going with it, or forget how it ended, and I found that really sad. But one thing that she seemed to remember and sort of brought a sparkle to her eye was when she talked about how she met my grandfather, and she told me that she met him in 1946 at the Hammersmith Palais on a Wednesday night, and she remembered that because Wednesday night was ladies' night, and that meant that the ex-servicemen got in for free, and the women got to choose who they wanted to dance with. So and she told me that she saw my grandfather dancing, and he was very good at dancing, and so she decided to go and ask him for a dance, and I thought it was a really sweet story, so I put it into this song. And the thing is, I recorded it and took it to her and played it to her and showed her the lyrics, and she said, "Well, it's a nice song, but I met him on a bus." But we think she was wrong about that, and we think this is the true story of how they met. So this is a song called Hammersmith Palais. "1946, and he had just turned 24. He was looking for some fun after returning from the war, in a brand new D-mob suit, brew cream taming every curl, and moves out on the floor to melt the hearts of pretty girls. She'd been working hard at home while the men were all away, and dancing with her sister at the Hammersmith Ballet. But now the war was over, perhaps in answer to her prayers, there was hope in every heart amid it's the music in the air. An old ladies' night every Wednesday. The servicemen don't pay. Come pick your man and dance the night away. The Hammersmith Palace. Well, his footbook caught her eye, and she thought that man can dance. If he thinks he'll take me home tonight, he hasn't got a chance. So she floated across the dance floor, but before she'd said a thing, he took her by the hand just as the band began to swing. An old ladies' night every Wednesday. The servicemen don't pay. Come pick your man and dance the night away. Hammersmith Palace. Well, they danced till closing time, and when the night came to an end, he kissed her on the hand and said, I hope we'll meet again. She said, I'll be here next Wednesday if you care to come along. The Harry Roy band's playing and they play my favorite song. An old ladies' night every Wednesday. The servicemen don't pay. Come pick your man and dance the night away. At the Hammersmith Palace. Thank you. Cheers. Tune up. Thank you very much. It's very cold today, isn't it? Like outside, not in here, but outside. No, Russia was colder for sure. It's kind of minus 35 average. Pretty nippy. And one time, like. The first time, because I lived there for a while, for 6 months, and the first time, like, for the first week, my wife was kind of taking me to work and dropping me off on the bus, and then the first time she let me go, she kind of let me go out on my own, I guess, and I got on the bus, and she told me the numbers of the buses that I could get on, and she said, when you get to the McDonald's, that's where you get off. So I was on this bus, and I was looking out for this McDonald's, and then I just saw that there was a McDonald's like really far. It's like a grid system there, and I saw the McDonald's like really far away, and I realised that the bus driver must have gone a different way, and so I started shouting to the bus driver to. I thought I was saying stop, but I was saying stop doing that, and and everybody was looking at me like, who's this crazy person, and I got to the front of the bus, and the driver kind of realised that I was asking him to stop. But we were in the middle of like this, there was like 6 lanes of traffic, and really heavy snow, and we'd stopped at some traffic lights, and he was like, do you want to get off now? But this was in Russian, and I was like, yes, da, and by that time the lights had changed, and it was green, and there were all these cars like whizzing past. But he let me off the bus, and I got off the bus, and there were just cars going past really quickly, and then there was a gap, so I made a run for it, and I jumped onto what I thought was a high curb, but it was actually a wall, and so I jumped over the wall into about like a knee height of kind of snow, and then just fell flat on my face like a snowman, like this, and I got home, and my wife's family like, where have you been, and why are you like all wet and covered in snow? Anyway, it's not something I usually talk about at gigs, but it just came to my mind. This is a song called Eurofire. It's about temptation and trying to avoid it and failing. You are a fire, I'm a can of gasoline. You're burning bright, just as brightly as I've seen. And I don't know if I should really be alone with you. But here I am, and it might be too late now. I'm getting scared that we'll burn this place right down. I don't know if I should really be alone with you. I think it's dangerous. Do you think that it's dangerous too? Cause in your smile there's just too much temptation, like lighting matches at a petrol station. I don't know if that is really something I should do. I think it's dangerous. Do you think that it's dangerous too? But I can't get you off my mind, despite what I have just been through. So I might need a little time. And I don't know if I should really be alone. I don't know if I should really be alone. I don't know if I should let you take me home with you. It's not my heart that I'm trying to preserve. If I get burned, it's probably just what I deserve. I'm just concerned, cause I don't want others burning too. I don't know if I should really be alone. I don't know if I should really be alone. I don't know if I should let you take me home. But I don't want to stamp it out, despite what I have just been through. So if you're sure you have no doubts, I think that I would really like to be alone. I think that I would really like to be alone. I think that I ain't gonna let you take me home with you. You are a fire, I'm a can of gasoline. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to play a song now called Pieces. It's a song about making plans and, you know, things don't always go the way you plan them. But this is a song that's kind of light-hearted, and it's about the little things, you know, like, because people make big plans, like a plan for this year or a plan for the next 3 or 5 or 10 years. And even just little things like, I'm going to catch the bus at 3:15 or something. Even kind of just tiny little plans like that don't go to plan. So I just kind of find it kind of amusing that, of course it's nice to make plans, but it's kind of amusing that we think we can. So that's what this song's about. It's called Pieces. Can you hear the rain fall, beating out a rhythm on the city wall? Bad news for the traders on the market stall, they won't sell a thing. Taxi driver beeps a horn, waking up a baby only newly born. It's a drag for the mother who who's feeling worn. She's been up all night, and a busker plays a wrong chord. Surely confirmation that he's been ignored. No one notices him fall upon his own sword. It's a tough old crowd, and the number 7's running late. All the passengers will have to wait, all walk in an attempt to take control of fate, but that's a bold move. God's laughing when you're talking about your future plans. It's amusing that you still believe it's in your hands. There are pieces in the puzzle no one understands, but they all fit in somehow. We just can't see it now. Employees on a ciggy break, talking about how much they're prepared to take, talking about how much they're prepared to take, but they'll never leave. And a car parked on a yellow line excites the traffic warden who arrives on time. It's a pity for the man who has to pay the fine. He's not a rich man. God's laughing when you talk about your future plans. It's amusing that you still believe it's in your hands. There are pieces in the puzzle no one understands, but they all fit in somehow. We just can't see it now. And when a pigeon has to go, he has no way to let the people know. Bad news if you're the one who's passing down below, late for an interview. Thank you. Thanks very much. That last verse isn't on the recorded version of the song. It's one I added after I did go to an interview and thought it went well, and then a friend told me that I had bird shit on my back. It's life. This is a song called Lies. How am I doing for time, Richard? Yeah? Okay, give me a nod. Right? So yeah, this is called Lies. Say at times a healer, but it takes a lot when your spirit is down on its knees. And right now I just feel used. I'm hurting and confused. There's no telling how much I'll need. You said you were trouble, but I thought I knew what was right for me. I'll admit now I was wrong. Can't deny that now you're gone. All I'm left with here is this misery. And I think you knew that you were fooling yourself. Think I always knew it too. What kind of fiction did we write for ourselves? And was it easy to deceive me? Did you always know you'd leave me here with lies I wanted to believe? And I know I'm crazy when it comes to you, but without you I am crazier still. I've been burning at both ends, avoiding all my friends. If they see me now, they will know I'm ill. And I think you knew that you were fooling yourself. Think I always knew it too. What kind of fiction did we write for ourselves? Did you always know you'd leave me Was it easy to deceive me with lies I wanted to believe? And I hope you hear this, and I hope it hurts. If it does, I guess I got you wrong. 'Cause if it hurts you have a heart like the ones you tear apart, you'll forgive me for not being strong. 'Cause I think you knew that you were fooling yourself. Think I always knew it too. What kind of fiction did we write for ourselves? And was it easy to deceive me? Did you always know you'd leave me here with lies I wanted to believe? Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to play a song now called Windy Head. And this comes from a Russian expression. So when I first met my wife, it was in the winter in Cambridge, and it was snowing, and I found myself walking through a cemetery one day, and it was very beautiful in the snow. And I was writing like a kind of like a poem about freshly fallen snow. I was feeling very poetic, and and I thought, well, this could be a song, but if it's just about snow and how nice snow is, nobody's gonna want to listen to the song. So I thought a bit more about it, and I decided that in this country we get excited when it snows, and for about 2 days, and then it starts to get sludgy, and all the dirt comes up, and we can't wait for it to just melt and just leave us alone. And at the time, I'd been through some sort of not that great kind of relationships that had ended badly, and I used it as an analogy. I decided that was a lot like a new relationship that is beautiful at the beginning and then very shortly after becomes really horrible. So that's where this song came from. But I just met, unfortunately it all turned out well, and but as I was writing this, my wife said to me, she told me that she translates things directly from Russian into English sometimes, and like she told me the other day that I was to stop hanging noodles from her ears, which means to don't lie to me, basically, and not about anything serious, just little things. So anyway, Windy Head means that you don't know what you want, you change your mind all the time, and it fit perfectly into this song. So this is Windy Head. As the snow is falling down, putting borders of white on every fixture in this town, you hear it crunch beneath your feet. As you walk with eyes wide open, full of wonder, through the streets, across the graveyard into town, and pay attention to the silence that resides behind the sounds of birds singing in the trees. For a moment you're distracted from all those bitter memories. Well, I hope our love ain't like the snow, temporary, soon to go, fleeting beauty till the sun or rain comes to beat it down the drain. But there's no way of knowing, darling, how long this can last. I hear that love can stick, it never has in the past. there's no way of knowing, darling. It's just like you said, especially in such a restless heart and windy head. So as this canvas starts to melt and all these colors fade to gray, will you still feel the way you felt as a child in the snow? Or quickly tire as you realize that your feet are getting cold? Don't answer now, just hold your tongue, 'cause you don't know it either way. It's just another song unsung. Well, I hope our love ain't like the snow, temporary, soon to go, fleeting beauty till the sun or rain comes to beat it down the drain. But there's no way of knowing, darling, how long this can last. I hear that love can stick, it never has in the past. There's no way of knowing, darling, it's just like you said, especially in such a restless heart and windy head. Thank you. I'll play a couple more. Is that good? Thank you very much for listening. Really enjoyed tonight. It's been great. And to anyone that's listening online as well, thank you very much. Thanks to Joe as well. I thought he was brilliant, Joe. Really enjoyed his music. Really great. And thank you, Richard, for having us back. I don't know what to play. Do you want like a livelier one or a kind of a gentle one? That doesn't surprise me. Okay, I'll play this one for... so I'm from Blackpool, and I don't know if you know what's going on in Blackpool at the moment. Well, it's like the first... they're fracking, basically. And they recorded like an earthquake today, a 0.8 on the scale of... Is it the Richter scale? Yeah, so it was a 0.8 on there, which means that they have to stop it, and I think they have stopped it, so that's great news. But my parents have been campaigning, and we saw them on the front page of one of the papers. I've forgotten which one, but really funny, like, no fracking. Yeah, really funny. I mean, it's not funny at all. It's funny to see my parents on the front page of the paper. Anyway, this is a song called Abusing My Position, and it's about people that do that. It's written from sort of first person. Yeah. So, here it is. Forgotten how it starts. There we go. I won't be... I've forgotten the words as well. Right, okay. Here we go. Got it. We've got it. I won't be losing any sleep tonight about the things I've done. Yeah, I'm abusing my position. Isn't everyone? Working this job is never easy. Decisions must get made. But I don't care about what's right or wrong, just as long as I'm getting paid. Like a heavy-handed doorman in a nightclub, or a supervisor on a power trip. A policeman with excuses when he wants to put the boot in, or the dealer who is keeping you sick. A manipulative preacher, teacher on a mission, frustrated traffic warden, or deceitful politician. Well, you're gonna find me abusing my position. Now everybody's giving me a hard time, but I don't let them. 'Cause anyone who has a little power will be abusing it to some degree. Makes no difference how you do it, If you're under pressure, you give a little out, or you take a little extra, just following procedure under supervision. Whatever your excuse, there is always a decision. Well, you're gonna find me abusing my position. And every now and again, I feel a little ashamed. But I'm only bending the rules, I'm just playing their game. Like a heavy-handed doorman in a nightclub, or a supervisor on a power trip. A policeman with excuses when he wants to put the boot in, or the dealer who is keeping you sick. A manipulative preacher, teacher on a mission, frustrated traffic warden, or deceitful politician. Well, you're gonna find me abusing my position. You got that chorus now? We sing along. You're gonna find me abusing my position. Like a heavy-handed doorman in a nightclub, or a supervisor on a power trip. A policeman with excuses when he wants to put the boot in, or the dealer who is keeping you sick. A manipulative preacher, teacher on a mission, frustrated traffic warden, or deceitful politician. Well, you're gonna find me abusing my position. You're gonna find me abusing my position. You're gonna find me abusing my position. Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't do that already. No. It's actually the next song on my little list here. So I often play this one last because it's in a funny tuning, so I have to sort of talk while I'm tuning, and if I tune down to this and then play another song, I have to tune back up afterwards. So do you remember the story, Richard? What happened? Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't mugged by a guy on a bike. I was punched by a guy on a bike, and for no reason. And so I'd been out in this pub in Cambridge called the White Swan, and I have a lot of affection for the White Swan. But it's the place that's open when nowhere else is open. So it's the place that people kind of, you don't go there at the beginning of the night. You go there kind of at the end of the night when things are starting to get a little bit messy. So I'd found myself in there, and I was kind of feeling a bit sorry for myself. I'd had a rough kind of time, and so I'd been in there drinking, and then I decided to go home. And on my way home, a guy cycled up to me, punched me in the face for no reason whatsoever. And anyway, I ended up going back to the White Swan because I thought, well, you know, I can't just go home now after that. So yeah, why not? So I did, and I met this old guy in there, and we had a good chat, and he shared some wisdom that I thought was, you know, he's very drunk but very wise. One of those guys, you know. My favourite kind of wise person. Because when someone's wise, but you know, when they're just wise, you're kind of like, okay, thanks for the lesson, you know. But when it's someone who's like clearly not got their shit together, it's like, cool, thanks. So yeah, this is a song called Want What You Get. Thanks again for listening. I've got CDs for sale. If you'd like one, just come and say hi, and also you got to give me some money and stuff, but we can deal with that. Cool. So yeah, cheers, and hope to see you again, and thank you. I was lost, I was feeling abused, with my heart on my sleeve, dripping blood on my shoes. Walked up to the bar and I ordered a drink. didn't realize that I had no money. But a man in the corner said, son, it's on me. The condition is only you tell me your story. I watched you walk in about an hour ago. I can tell you're in need of a friend. Said, I don't mean to be rude, but it's none of your business. I came here alone, I'm just here to get pissed. And if you've nothing better to do with your time, why don't you just head on home? He said, well, that's fair enough, but if you want that drink, or even a few, well, you might want to think about what brought you here. My offer to you is simply to lend you an ear. So we sat at the bar, and I poured out my heart, explained how my world had just fallen apart. He said sometimes a man thinks he knows what he wants, but it's not really what he needs. He said the trick is to want what you get, not to get what you want. Learn to forgive, learn to forget. Surrender control and you'll start to accept that you don't know what's best for you. I said it sounds idealistic, my problems are real. I know just what I need, I know just how I feel. There is a burning inside me that won't let me go, and your words offer no consolation. He said believe what you will, but it's my guarantee that life brings exactly the lessons you need. And the quicker you learn that, the sooner you'll free all the hurt that is keeping you down. He said the trick is to want what you get, not to get what you want. Learn to forgive, learn to forget. Surrender control and you'll start to accept that you don't know what's best for you. No, you don't know what's best for you. No, you don't know what's best for you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah. See you. Thank you.
There's been many a morning I've actually woken up with some of his tunes going through my head. All of the music I play at the Drawingroom, they're recordings of live shows, so I don't have to pay the record companies because I'm a bit of a cheapskate. So we've got our own tunes here, and tonight will be added to the list. Where are you in January, by the way?
In January?
Yeah. In the UK? Are you planning to be abroad anywhere?
I'm in the UK.
You are good. There's a girl downstairs. She's got a birthday in January. She wants to book you for her party.
Right.
Yeah. I think she was trying to make out that she's hasn't got too much money, but I'm sure you can work a deal. So I'm sure you'll cut her a good deal. Anyway, listen. There are some CDs. How many? How many?
3 albums.
3 albums. Okay. And what sort of money? £10 each. Okay. If you haven't got £10, save up. We're back next week. The party's not over. You can obviously stay. We can get you another drink. We can get you whatever we got to offer you. And there'll be some background music. Please, as I say, stay and talk to the musicians, but do part with some money for them. As and when you come to leave, if you can settle up your bill, it will help us to be in business next week, and hopefully we will see you again very soon. But could I just say thank you to the sound engineers. We've got Zoe and Tom over here. And to my right-hand man by the name of Harris, who is busily doing stuff downstairs and has been just a splendid fellow, looking after you guys. And Joe, where is he? Joe, is he? Where's Joe gone? Is he? He's downstairs. Is he? He's downstairs. Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for your music, and look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thank you. Oh, hold on. Birthdays. Caroline, who's over here. Forgive me. Your name? Tara. Tara. And Mugdi. Okay. These are the 3 birthday girls. So give them a squeeze, give them a smile, give them a hug when you pass them, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Dan, thank you. Bless you. Thank you all. Thanks for coming.